Hello, my friends. We are very excited to bring you week 2 of the multi-tier tournament in the fall 2020 season. Your very handsome casters, Bull Skunk and Chef Billy, have returned to the console scene, returned to our roots. We got some awesome teams lined up for you today. We got an awesome match. I'm excited, Billy. I am very hyped for this.
I am really hyped for this as well. We have come home, my Overwatch BBs. It is so good to be home. And we do have a tier 3 match on our hands today. Memento Mori taking on Archeon Esports. Archeon Esports, a newcomer to the CGL scene. And from what I have seen of them so far, they look to be quite lethal. Memento Mori, becoming one of our legacy orgs now on their second season in the CGL. So we will see how they fare against the upstarts from Archeon Esports and a couple familiar names on Memento Mori, looking at skate action. And General No Nips, a former staff member of CGL, now just playing his heart out to his heart's content in the tier 3 scene, and I am very excited to see them come out today because it's always nice to see our friends that we have spent so much time with here in the past playing on our screens.
Indeed, and Archeon was kind enough to send us a little bit of an intro video, so we'll play that a little bit for you now. This, like you said, this team kind of new to the T3 scene, and holy cow, this video gets me hyped. There's a lot of great stuff in here. A hype soundtrack, but you know, Twitch has been very strict on the DMCA's recently, so we're gonna keep the audio muted. But you can see these newcomers, well, they look to be punching above their weight class. A lot of impressive teamwork shown off here, as well as individual mechanics. And in talking to them, they actually get VOD reviews monthly from Tickety, the former assistant coach of the Dallas Fuel. And talking with their captain, they said that this feedback has helped them tremendously. Their teamwork has grown so much since getting this coaching. And, well, it's on display here in this highlight vid. We'll see if it's on display in our series.
Yeah, I mean, if this hype video has any kind of a portent to what is going to happen here in our match today, Memento Mori are going to have their hands full. However, both teams coming in 1-0 here in the new season. We're in season 8 now. My goodness, I've been here for a long time, and you know, I'm very excited to see how Memento Mori will deal with the DPS. The DPS really looking quite lethal, to say the least. Zaku and Objector, respectively, showing up and showing out. I'm really excited to see the Ana player. You are very hyped on this Ana player, and I know that I played for Memento Mori. I was part of their org for a while, and seeing them have Timmy on their roster, that is an Ana killer right there. There will be so much denial if Timmy is on his game tonight, because he is one of the better off tanks in the tier 3 scene. Pretty underrated, played in tier 4 for a little while, so he does have some upper experience as well. We'll just see how things go, because it's going to be a battle of wits here.
Absolutely, and I'm going to keep my eye on Mighty Comper as well, who's the hitscan player for Archeon. Was doing some great things in that highlight video that we saw a glimpse of. This is gonna be a bout. This one's gonna be bloody. I can feel it in my bones, people. I can feel it in my bones. Yes, we are casting from replays, but we don't watch any of this stuff. When this is just as fresh to us as you are seeing it live, we don't want to spoil it for ourselves. So we are salivating in anticipation as we take a look at our map pool for today, for this week, as a matter of fact. We're going to start off on Busan, followed by King's Row, head to Hanamura for Assault, Havana for our escort map this week, and then we'll head to Oasis for our map 5 if necessary.
Yeah, this is a pretty good week as far as the maps go. Nothing too crazy in there. I think if there's going to be an outlier, it's probably going to be Havana. Should we get that far, because it is a first 2-3, something new here in the CGL. They're keeping in line with what the OWL is doing and making it the first 2-3s. So, you know, you could get a 3-0 victory, or you could go all 5 maps, and it just depends on how we address today's map. And I want to see the aggression come out. I want to see the fire come out from everybody, because I am like you. I have been waiting to come back to cast some CGL, and now that we got some time off from our other duties, we get to come back to our home It's a homecoming for us.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Speaking of map 5, Archeon no strangers. They were coming off of a map 5 victory in week 1. Already have had one of those down to the wire series, and we're only 2 weeks in. So
I mean, this is going to be very interesting, my friend, because Momento Mori a 3-1 victory in their week 1 match. So they didn't have as hard of a time coming into this matchup. So both teams riding a little bit of early season momentum, and we'll see when we get to the streets of Busan how this will play out. Who is going to continue to be undefeated in the early season, and who's going to take an L and have to re-marshal their strategies and their training for the next week.
Oh, I just realized my follow alerts are buried underneath the logo from the fall 2020 season. I am so sorry about that. I'm gonna shift that over. Oh no, that's not the right button. Follow alerts. No. Oh, they're locked. All right. See, it wouldn't be a Bull Skunk stream without a Bull Skunk moment. There we go. All right, we'll get that fixed for you. As we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing without further ado. Let's head into our opening map of Busan, and we'll get this Tier 3 matchup underway.
Whew, I am excited, my friend. We have been waiting for this for quite some time, you and I, and we shall see what we shall see here. Starting out on Sanctuary, this lends itself to so many different options as far as your tank line. You can go the double shield. You could run Brawl here as well. Dive can be successful here, but you've got to have some serious coordination if you're going to pull that off. I think the real battle here is going to be between the DPS and the support cores from both sides, and we'll see. Let's see. We will see both teams come out of the gate here with Ryan Zarya. I like that. And there is Undertanker, the Ana specialist that you are so fond of. Let's see how they aggress with this.
Well, they definitely had some impressive stuff in that highlight video. I'm anxious to see him in action. Right out of the gate, Momento Mori are going to grab the positional advantage and take it to Archeon. But a big charge coming out from Fire Crit is going to put Mr. World on the back foot. Gets finished off. And now Archeon pushing in, trying to claim the rest of these kills. Nice snipe from Mighty Camper. Going to pick up one as well. You got Zaku in the backline trying to punish the supports. And Archeon will grab first control, looking for some exit kills on the way out.
And, I pointed out ideal objector in the beginning in Fire Kirito. This tank line being quite aggressive here, pushing up and into the little sanctuary area here for Momento Mori. I'm looking for Mr. Worldwide to really match wits with Fire Kirito, but he's already got Shatter online. That is a scary proposition, my friend.
But Undertaking going down early is a great opener for Momento Mori. It's going to force Archeon back, and it may force Fire to think twice about dropping this Shatter. Nope, never mind. Throws it down, but right into a Zarya bubble. Gets taken out. Timmy showing up, blocking the big ult, finding the kill, and now it's a +2 from Memento Mori on this point. Protocol's going to push it and make that a +3. Soundbarrier invested just to help close out this fight. We get a little bit of a duel between Protocol and Undertaker in the backline.
Yeah, and I mean, Undertaker, for all rights and purposes, wins that. However, the flip does go for Momentum Mori, looking for Grav to initiate the next fight, maybe a massive anti going into it. Not a lot to go and pair with it. I mean, you've got Mighty Camper on the Widowmaker, but not really enough to get into it. And running this Reaper against it, Mighty Camper's going to have to really think about where they're going with this.
Protocol is able to pick up the early pick, finish off the work that Cold had started with that nice positioning in the beginning. But Graviton Surge, Nano boosted Tracer into the mix. That's going to take Cold out of the fight. Huge charge from Mr. Worldwide, goes all the way to the other side. Actually put himself in a pretty safe position. Getting out of harm's way, and No Nips is going to take the Tracer down the other side. Graviton Surge to close things out. And Timmy ends this fight. Memento Mori continue to build percentage.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the, I mentioned it before. Oh, what a fire strike from Kirito, taking out 2. Wow, you've got to watch your back on that one, my friends, from Memento Mori, because he is lethal with the hammer strike. Now, going into this next fight, Protocol has the Pulse Bomb available, looking to hit it either Undertaker or Sunny Explosion, but they do drop the Sound Barrier.
Sound Barrier is there. Shatter comes through, but only finds one. That Sound Barrier keeping him alive. Jakku going in deep, sacrifices himself. But trade's starting to come through. That pulse bomb does land, giving Momento Mori the advantage as Timmy pushes in and just continues to wreak havoc. The shatter coming from a fire doesn't seem to land. And Timmy just glowing like a Christmas tree, pushes forward and cleans up.
I mentioned it before. He is one hell of an off tank, and he is showing his class right now. Last fight territory for Archeon Esports as we cross 95%, and you've got just the nothing online. I mean, Zopkin gets a quick kill, but to no avail. They take it 100 to 36, kind of against the run of play of what we were expecting to see here, Bullskunk.
Ideal did his darndest to try to make it back onto the objective with that Hammond, but no such luck. Now we're headed to Mecha Base. Momento Mori with the 1-0 lead on our opening round.
No reason to really swap up your team here. I think that if you run this brawl here, you can get a lot of space taken and really make room for your Widowmaker, which we see Protocol bring out. We also, debated. I did like the Tracer play from them. Cold is going to possibly bring this Junkrat out into spam, especially from the top ropes there. Can actually get a lot of value in tires here. Kind of hard to shoot them down with so much space to run it around.
Yeah, you got a lot of clever angles. You could drop the tire and not give line of sight to the other team. Both teams are going to clash over the high ground to start us off on Mecha Base. Grabbing this high ground, very important, especially with a character like Juggernaut who can just rain spam down onto the point. But early May wall, big charge, Mr. Worldwide falls immediately. The focus is there as Fire picks up their second, looking for their third kill, and will get it. Takes down the Moira. Once again, Archon starting off strong.
Yeah, a little bit of an aggressive push there from Pseudo on the Moira, trying to keep the team up through the mid fight. But we've got a hyper-aggressive Reinhardt here that actually is using his brain quite well. Look at the shield management that he had during that mid fight. He never looked cracked on his shield, so we got to really be thinking we have a top-tier Rein here in this Tier 3 division.
Smart play from the D.Va and the newly swapped Pharah as they circumvent the May wall, but on the front line, it's still two picks coming through. Protocol and Timmy are going to equal back, and it's a 4v4 on this objective, but Zaku's able to pick up one, and Mighty Camper finds one as well. Archon looking to hang on to this thing.
I mean, is anybody left alive right now? The trades were going back and forth so violently there. But Ultimate's coming into this. You've got, that's a great kill. As I was about to mention, the Blizzard that Mighty Camper has. Cold, the winged Egyptian hero, taking out their really one of their better counters in this fight. Let's see what Timmy can do with the self-destruct. Doesn't get much out of it.
Shatter's going to come through and find 3! Laying down Momento Mori, Coalescence thrown in. The sound barrier out to try to keep them alive as the counter shouter didn't find anything. Blizzard's out, but it's not going to find much either. It's the Coalescence. It's going to be the difference maker from Momento Mori as the barrage comes down. Going to close out this fight. Memento Mori are going to flip this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great flip. That's a great use of ultimates there. Was it expensive? Oh, yeah. It was a little expensive there, but I think that they got exactly what they needed out of it to get the flip. I mean, 75% on the first foray here in Mecha Base, and you've got 3 ultimates online if you are Archon. So this is going to be a bit of a weird switch here.
It's going to be the Graviton Surge out, Death Blossom in, and that's huge! What a wombo combo! And that made short work of this fight. In a matter of seconds, Archon has sent nearly the entirety of Memento Mori back to spawn.
Ooh, that's a fat grab from Ideal. They had nothing. Timmy was back in spawn, had no ability to eat it. And I mean, 85% and counting, you still got sound barrier ready to go to keep you up through the mid fight. Nothing on the table. Protocol's got to really try to farm this Death Blossom up in a hurry.
Ooh, a nice mid wall to split off the main tank, but it's Mr. Worldwide finding the kill with the pin. Actually, it was Sports coming through as Pseudo wins the battle against her counterpart, and it's a +2 to Memento Mori on this point. The Shatter's going to hit nothing but a shield, and Fire goes down in the process. Now it's just Zaku trying to buy as much percentage, but nope. Flip's already come through.
Yep, and I think that the really early kill onto Protocol there, I think really saved Momento Mori, because if they did not take him out fast, I think he would have gotten his Blizz or his Blossom in that mid fight, and he would have absolutely hit it. Nothing on the Shatter there, though, my friend.
Nope, good block from Fire, not dissuaded whatsoever. Zaku's going to go around and look for the flank as the Death Blossom comes through from the other side. Bubbled up. Timmy is going to push in and clean up. Fire goes down, which means the rest of Archeon cannot push out of this choke.
Yeah, and the smart coalescence coming out from Suda there, quite a few of her members of her team were quite low. So, not only did you get the extra kill onto Sunny Explosion, but you also keep your team up and really allow you to get this higher percentage progress going on. But last fight here, my friend.
Yeah, going through the pit. Archeon trying to catch him off guard, but it was scouted out by Protocol. Oh no, huge bump and the charge actually sending Timmy into the water. Initiated by the Blizzard and then capped with the Death Blossom. Archeon are going to claim this objective. I don't know if there's time for Mori to get back in touch. Momento Mori.
Maybe Protocol can get there in touch.
He did get the touch off. He's going to have to use that Wraith Form. Cold's going to drop the barrage, but that gets shut down immediately. Not before finding one. Shatter is actually going to find two around the shield of Fire, and the response comes through with Ideal's Graviton Surge. The kill on the back of that's going to take the Lucio out of the fight. One healer gone, and the Warrior's in a very dangerous spot. Now just gets pounced upon as the entirety of Archeon collapse onto the few remaining members of Memento Mori. They're going to close this thing out and send us to that third round on Downtown.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a smart wall coming out from Mighty Camper to stop the high bar routine being shown by Timmy there. I give him an 8.5 from the Russian judge. The dismount was left a little bit to be desired. However, the stall tactic was really real there, and I thought that if he may have gotten one environmental kill, it would have turned that on its head. But alas, we will go to Downtown, and here is where I expect some kind of compositional shift. Sidelines here for snipers, so crucial. High ground here also at a premium. Let us see the Widow battle commence. I say, May, let us see the blood fly. Who will be the more proper, the more venerated sniper here? Is it going to be Camper or is it going to be Protocol?
Both picking up the Widowmaker. A lot of room for crazy rotations, clever rotations on this map as well as both of our Widowmakers. Take a shot and a miss. Start things off. Mr. Worldwide Company have made their way onto the objective, claim that positional advantage, force Archeon to come steal the point back. And, well, they get the opening pick to try to make that happen, take the sniper threat off the table. And Zaku's going to move in from the high ground, see if he can get this nice angle down to help whittle the members of Memento Mori away. But is going to get taken down by Cold in the process. Wise to his ways, the soldier with his 30-round clip was too much for them to handle. Now it's a 5v5 left on the point. Ooh, make that a 6v4 as Protocol returns. Mighty Camper goes down. Cold picking up his third kill of this fight. Memento Mori hanging on to this point.
Biotic field difference right there. I think that is what absolutely won them that point. That extra little bit of healing, keeping them up in the mid-fight. And then just a nice tracking and aiming coming out of Cold. He gets a little bit of a flashbang to the face, but will stay up through it. So, first progress, 25% almost and counting. Kirito is going to have this Shatter online in a hurry.
Running into both support ults and that tac visor from the other side. There's a little fight breaking out on the open, but the front lines are going to clash towards Coast. The Coalescence comes out from Archeon to try to push in. Looking for room in that Shatter. Throws it down. Hits nothing but the shield. The counter Shatter, better. Fire goes down. Undertaker on a sliver of health. And that is just going to be it. Clean up from there. Protocol with a nice shot to win the sniper duel on the outside.
Yep, and 53% Protocol showing up. Oh my word! The real thing that we see here is that we have dueling grabs here. So Timmy, can use it aggressively to stop the aggression and stop any kind of contestation on the point. We're also looking for sites to come out. I want to see how Sunny uses this sound barrier. Is he going to use it aggressively to get in on them, or is he going to try and keep the team up through the grab?
We're getting some DPS swaps. Zaku and Mighty going over to the Shimada brothers. Graviton Surge out, and 3 kills come through. The dashes through a Graviton Surge are just nutty. As you can see, both those DPS now have considerable ult charge, which is good. I was worried for them swapping this late, But if they can build up the ults, that could swing the fight.
Well, I mean, 90%. That's nothing to sneeze at for Memento Mori. However, I think the real difference in that personally was under Tanker going over to the Ana, throwing the nade into the grab. Nothing they could do. It was just quick dash, get your ult charge, get out, get the kills.
Is that another Graviton Surge? My goodness! Ideal! Holy cow! Take a bow. What an outstanding performance on this Zarya so far from Ideal Object.
Whew, man. I mean, that was garnered quickly. I mean, that's nothing but left triggers there going into Momento Mori. You've got Shatter online. I would expect that Undertaker is going to get this Nano up very quickly, and you're looking for Nano Blade into the next defense. But Shatter and Coalescence from Momento Mori could throw a wrench into their plans.
I'm wondering if that first grab wasn't a deflected grab looking at Timmy's ult charge, but here comes a Shatter from the other side. That's going to pick up one. The sleep is going to deny much follow-up. The Fire Strike does eventually come through. Dragons not enough to keep Momento Mori at bay as they just swarm onto this objective, racking up kill after kill, and are in prime position to take the opening map.
Yep, Protocol swapping over to this Echo, really throwing a wrench into what Archeon are trying to do here on the point. You are going to have the blade available. Let's see if he pops it.
Attack Visor keeping him at bay to start things off. Soundbarrier in, there's the Nano, there's the blade. It comes out, it's going to chop down one at least. Continues to make short work on this point. And with the overtime wick burning, Archeon is able to claim it back and plant their flag. But man, was that expensive.
It was expensive, but it was needed. I mean,
yeah, you had no choice.
You had no choice at that point. I mean, you got the value out of the Nano Blade that you really needed to clear the point and give yourself a moment to breathe. However, Timmy's going to have the grab coming in probably for this next fight. And you're also looking at Protocol using the focusing beam, using those sticky bombs to really start the aggression coming in. You've got to get there 85% almost. We're going to see the grab come out here in the next couple seconds.
This is final fight. Grab is going to hold fire in place. Sunny gets drawn in as well, burned down by a Timmy, and coupled with the Shatter supports gone from Archeon. And Cole's there to clean up the rest. Finding three on the back end of the fight. Memento Mori are going to flip this thing. They will take Busan in the 1-0 lead here in our 1-3 matchup.
Boy, back and forth action, just like we were expecting. This is a very good turn of events for Memento Mori as they came out and did not back down from Archeon Esports. They do take Busan 2-1 and go up 1-0 in our series. And the DPS for Memento Mori. Very impressed with both Protocol and Cold showing us the cold, hard steel of a hit scan player. And we shall see what they bring to our next map, which is going to be King's Row.
Yes, indeed. We're going to head to jolly old England for map number 2. You'll have to bear with me just a moment as I get production things worked out here. It's been a hot minute since I've had to produce and cast at the same time. So making sure to get back in my rhythm here, Billy.
Oh, I mean, we already talked about it. I would talk more, which is, I mean, you know, I never really lacked the ability to talk so much. But now I got to do it more. I'm okay with this. But I mean, looking at what we saw there, we always think that Control is going to be the outlier map. And we've seen it from all the competitions that you and I have done together. This is, you know, not necessarily the way that things will go. We'll see a team take Control because of the chaotic nature of it. And maybe, you know, some wonky comps or, you know, a fortuitous swap that the other team is not expecting, and you somehow capture the point and you're able to hold off until the last moment. It's winnable, you know, as our Lord and Savior Jane says all the time. But you know, we'll see how it goes going into King's Row, because I really like this Ana player, my friend. They really have been showing up. When the Ana comes out, it seems like the team fights are going a lot more in Archeon's way. Will Memento Mori have a way to pick her out?
Yeah, Undertaker is the captain of Archeon Esports, and the on-up change was huge there at the end. Definitely enabled them to make that as close as it was. Outstanding map. Going into King's Row, I don't expect. Now, what I'm curious is, are we going to get the Genji pairing back with it? Do we get the Shimada brothers back in on King's Row? I mean, clearly not very meta right now. I mean, most of the meta we're seeing has been a lot of double shield, but at this rank, I think it's more about how your team coordinates. It's not so much about what heroes are particularly meta. It's how you get max value of the heroes and the compositions that you're best with.
Yeah, I don't know if rushdown comp will work here. Will you get enough value out of the Tracer and the Reaper? You know, per se, we could also see the Blackout DPS comp that we love to see, the Reaper and the Sombra.
Yep.
It just depends on how they want to address this. You know, being on replay codes here, we don't get to say and see who's going to be on attack and defense. That's one small thing that, you know, while much easier for us to cast, it's a little bit disconnected because I don't get to talk to the captains in the middle of the match.
Right.
So, you know, that was something that I love doing. Was the chance to talk to the captains, you know, after each map, you know, and struggle to not only change the maps, because I did that so many times that I'm so glad I don't have to figure out which map I have to press on. It's a chef moment there. But I mean, you know, so we'll be a little bit disadvantaged until we get the next replay up. But you know, bear with us, because this is the new normal for us as well. You know, what out to Memento Mori though.
Yes, indeed. As we take a look at our map pool, talking well, King's Row, map number 2, and you mentioned that control being an outliner. A lot of teams, you know, may struggle in the chaotic nature of control, but then really bring it back once you get to a little bit more organized style of a payload or objective type map. I'm curious to see if Momento Mori take this momentum, keep going with it, or if this is where Archeon starts to shine.
Yep, and I mean we'll see how they do address the situation here. I just took a peek at chat Bull Skunk, and it was a deflected grab. The first one was a deflected grab.
Yeah, well,
so
and looking at the ult charges, that's the only thing that made sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still a quite a fast ult coming out from Ideal Object, but that didn't make a whole lot of sense in my brain. Then I looked up and realized Timmy had recently used theirs. That was the only thing that made sense in my head. So, you know, apologies we missed that one initially. We're finding our rhythm as well. You know what? We make mistakes, Billy. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yes. And now we get to go and make more mistakes on King's Row.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it.
Woo!
Without further ado, let's head into our second map of the day. We're going to go to the streets of England. We'll see who can take the lead to start things off.
All right. So, you know, coming out of the gate here, my friend, it looks like Sudowoodo and company have decided they're going to go on the defense here. I like it. They want to see what kind of a benchmark they're going to have to meet here. And they have brought out Cold onto the Soldier again, and we saw them get quite the performance there, especially in downtown. Y Protocol bringing the Junkrat out, spam damage, of course, beautiful. Got to watch out going into a Zarya like Ideal Objector. You got to make sure that you're not feeding charge to the Zarya, because we saw this Zarya player absolutely shred on Busan.
Coming out on the attack, Saku's going to pull out the Widowmaker. Just look for that opening pick. Ooh, almost takes Cold's head right off. Lucky for them, it was a body shot. We'll see if they choose to stick with the Widow. Meanwhile, on the front line, it's a Fire and Ideal pushing right on in, wasting zero time, right up the gut. 60 charge, make that 100 charge for Ideal. Maywall out to divide and conquer, and Mr. Worldwide goes down right out of the gate. And return fire, though, Protocol is able to take down Fire on the other side. Both teams are missing their Reinhardt. Zaku landing the kill onto Timmy. This could be the difference maker right then and there. Zaku sitting on this high ground, has wonderful sights over the point. And there's the percentage starting to come through, Billy. One tick already.
Do you know what I'm really impressed here by Archeon so far is the ability to coordinate the wall and the aggression coming in. Now, Cold is going to take his aggression out on Zaku and take him down quick as you like. And this Undertaker now bringing out the Zenyatta and the Discord Orb, it's starting to feel its weight. Shatter available.
Oh no, it gets booped up. No nips, what a play. Booping the Reinhardt up mid-shatter meant that there was plenty of time for Fire to get that shield up. Blizzard will come out and find a couple kills, as this has been a bloodbath on the streets of King's Row, on the starting point of King's Row. That couple of kills on the back end will solidify things, but holy cow, still tip of the hat to No Nips on that play.
I mean, it stopped the aggression for just a moment, and I mean, you know, it really stopped this point being taken so fast.
Oh! There's one of those sleeps from Sunny Explosion. As she makes Cold nap it off. Protocol will find a pair of kills with a tire, but it's not enough to stop the car from getting out of the garage.
Oh my word! This Widow player is not messing about, my friend, and Protocol is just denying the space coming through. He does get taken down by a volley from under tanker. You know, the Zenyatta does have the Transcendence online now for the Graviton Surge of Timmy, and they're going to be able to get aggressive with this tac visor. You've got the Transcendence, you've got the grab. Now let's see, Mighty Camper swapping over to the Tracer now, so we're going to get a little bit more mobility and speed. Nuisance factor as well going to the backline of Momento Mori.
Zaku finding another great shot, taking Protocol down. Zaku really finding their rhythm. Ideal and Fire pushing forward. Like you said, a Graviton Surge at the ready. Coming up for both teams. Shatter out from Mr. Worldwide, gets blocked, finds nothing but the shield of Fire. And with their shield cracking, they're first to fall back. Timmy's trying to take this off angle on the side and gets the Graviton Surge out, but Transcendence is there. Undertaker, Johnny on the spot with that ultimate, keeping Archeon alive through this fight. And as it draws out, it will be Ideal. Charged up, eventually muscling their way through. Archon pick up point B.
Yeah, not without a couple from Titty there, but not enough to really turn the fight in their favor. And I mean, that's just cleanup right there. We're going to be about 4:45. Yep, 4:40 on the clock. Going into point 3 for Archon. And here, I think, is where the team-based play that we were talking about in the little intermission that we had. This is where the team play starts to come forward. This is where the escort becomes so important. It's not so chaotic. You can plan when you want to go in. I think this is starting to turn on its head here, Bullskunk.
Timmy making the swap to D.Va to try to eat these Graviton Surges. Coalescence out from Memento Mori, and the Shatter comes through, finding 3. Cold's going to drop the tac visor as well to follow up on that massive Shatter. Memento Mori planting their feet in a big way.
Yeah, they needed it. I mean, they absolutely had to have it there. And, you know, putting so much into that fight is going to leave them at a deficit. But, you know, I think the nature of King's Row here, getting your poke damage, taking the time to really work these corners, and, you know, the ebb and flow of these two corners here for Memento Mori is going to tell us whether or not they have the strength to stay in this fight, or if it's going to be a massive time bank. You're looking at No Nips with the sound barrier to hold everybody up.
Well, it's going to be a nanoed Reinhardt coming through to try to break through those shields. If they can survive that, Ideal's got a Graviton Surge waiting to go, but looks like Ideal will be able to save that Surge to try to push this card all the way home.
Oh, Lord. I mean, you've got Transcendence available. You've got Sights available. You got the grab for Ideal. Nothing online. Timmy's going to have to get a big eat here. Otherwise, this is going to be a fast time bank.
Timmy's off on the side, ready for it. Mr. Worldwide goes down, but the res is available. Self-destruct into the back. It's going to find Sunny. Oh, but the pulse bomb on the other side gets a pair. Followed up with a kill onto Mr. Worldwide as well with the machine pistols. The difference maker, Sans Anna. Archon are able to swing this fight. Cold is trying to bring it back, but he's got one speck of health, attack visor, and a dream. Now it is just the wrecking ball and the two supports. Timmy is going to return in, but not before Worldwide goes down. Timmy will find the kill onto the Zenyatta in the back, but does eventually get D-maxed. And Fire should be able to take down No Nips. The little help does eventually. Zaku returns on the McCree. And one by one, the stall continues to come through. One by one, Archon send them right back into those doors. Now it's just a spin to win on the back end. The Torb was hiding on the front of cart. No avail. Better go hide and spawn, Cold, because this thing is home. 3 points on the board, 2:18 on the clock.
Now, I will give it to Cold there. He did burn about 30 seconds of time bank for Archeon Esports. So smart pick there. You know, he had the overload to be able to boost up his armor and his health pool there. I didn't see the turret come out. I don't know if it got destroyed like immediately or not, but you know, the stall was there. 218 going against Momento Mori now, and you know, I like the swaps that we're seeing coming out from Zaku and from Mighty Camper. Mighty Camper, wow, the Widow play coming out of that hero. Good lord.
Oh, a
Took
huge
Tracer's
reason.
head off twice.
A huge reason they were able to have such a massive time bank going into point C.
It was beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see. So now, you know, you've got, you know what your benchmark is now if you're Memento Mori. And what we really want to see is measured aggression coming out from them. Get your rotations right. Maybe do a little bit something sneaky here, something unexpected. You know, Cold, we did see them get some value on the Zar or on the Pharah in mecha base. So, you know, you might have that with you, and especially if you're going to have a Mercy pocket, that's going to be absolutely beneficial to your team. Let's see if they can get the aggression in and get the shielding down. That's going to be the first thing they got to get down is Kirito's shield.
Protocol coming out on the Genji as well. Give me a turret to worry about on the back end as Mighty Camper is the one going Torbjorn this time around. Genji far, there's not a whole lot of frontline presence or shield break really available to this DPS line, but there's a big ante in the pack. Rockets flying in from the side as Cold is laying down the hurt into the backs of the front line of Archeon. Timmy is going to be the first to fall in this engagement, and Cold is looking mighty worn for the wear. Will eventually get burned down by Ideal, and Archeon send this attack packing.
Once again, it is this glowing Zarya of Ideal object. My word, they have got to take care of the Zarya problem. I think that is the initiator for the entire team right now. Is how much charge does the Zarya have, and are the bubbles on cooldown? And the communication's got to be perfect for that, of course. But look at the charge, 80% charge consistently. That's a lot of DPS, my friend.
Nano boost all ready to go for the attackers. Protocol 60 to Blade. They can hang on through this fight, get the rest of that Blade built up. That's their win condition. Nice sleep! And fire goes down immediately, but Protocol falls. So both teams are missing a player. All right, res available as they do have that extra lease on life. And it's going to be Archeon just kiting back a little bit, waiting for their tanks to get back into the battle, but they've already lost Zaku. Nano Boost coming out from Archeon onto Ideal Objectives. They're going to drop the Graviton Surge into the mix, right onto the Reinhardt, but it's not going to be enough. And the Shatter, well, it was a good Shatter, but there's nobody there to touch point.
Yeah, I mean, they do lose it, and, you know, now Timmy, 100 charge and grab in hand. You can get aggressive with this, unless you take a couple dome shots from Zaku, who has the Dragon Strike available. Grab Barrage available? Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Grav Nano Blade as well. I wish Ideal had held on to that Graviton Surge of their own. They got Nano boosted, and it felt like they needed to use it, and Zaku was already dead, so they weren't able to throw out the big Wombo combo, which could have been a fight winner for them. As it stands, all those check marks glowing for Memento Mori. Dragons are going to come out and try to split the front from the back. Do take down Pseudo in the back line. No more res. It's essentially a 2-for-1 as that had not been used yet. How are Memento Mori going to respond? They have all these ultimates. You got to use them at some point. There's the Graviton Surge. That's going to pick up 3. Transcendence is there. The Barrage, not enough to punish all of that healing. Fire does eventually fall, but Colt's going to get picked out of the sky in the process. And what looks like a very one-sided fight has been drawn out. Cold will get rezzed as Pseudo returns to the fight. I'm expecting this Blade to come out to close this thing out.
Yep, took the words right out of my mouth, and if you land a Shatter into it, that could be great too.
Protocol's going to go back. He's got 14 health, just gets burned down. Ideal says, I'm having none of that. Get your sword out of my face. I've got 90 charge coming through. Shatter comes out. No, that was just a big charge coming through. And Archeon thwart this attack with 0.4 meters left to go.
And Bullskunk, McCree difference right there in that fight. That flashbang picked up 3 and denied anybody from being able to use any of their abilities there. And the cleanup was absolutely huge. Once again, it is Ideal object on this Zarya. Such high charge at all times. I mean, they've got to really focus the Zarya player down. Otherwise, there's going to be no second point cap here.
Mr. Worldwide with Shatter ready to go. Can it be the one to take the Zarya out of the fight? Graviton Surge could be the movement from the other side. Shatter's down. Oh no, but Worldwide. He goes down in the process, blocks the first Shatter, but dies trying to throw his own. The charge takes down Protocol. And, well, Ideal just pushing forward. You can still see the Zarya from space, Billy. My goodness.
It's so true. And, you know, looking at the work being done by Ideal here, you know, getting these late stagger kills, and they're pressing together as a 6. When the first frag comes out, you were watching the swarm mentality come out from Archeon Esports, and now you've got 3 ultimates online. The duplicate, you know, we're going to see whether or not they get any value out of this.
Transcendence up for the defense as well as that duplicate, which would be good because there's Timmy with the Graviton Surge. Barrage ready to go. As you can see Cold sneaking in over the top. There he goes. Kong Plus into the back. There's the Surge. There's the Barrage. And pick up 2. Zaku's ever to keep it from any further damage. And now he's going to drop the Deadeye, which also finds 2. You've got the Auto, 1 in the back, rolls in, gives her a quick jab. The Nano onto the Reinhardt to try to bring this thing back, but there's just too much damage. Not even the damage mitigation is enough. Zaku! Holy cow.
Holy cow, that's an ace for the ages there. The unassisted, you know, 6-piece there from him.
Well,
and once again,
slightly
it's
assisted.
just... His aim was good.
His aim was real good.
But 60 seconds on the clock here for Momentum Mori to get it to point B and get us continue the march through. And they don't have anything online. You're looking closest at the Deadeye from Protocol.
And losing Moira is not going to help that at all. Now they're just caught in this alley with no major source of sustain. No Nibs can put out some good healing, but still on the back foot. Momento Mori is going to rotate around, buy some time for that Moria to get back into battle. Protocol 80% towards that Dead, as you mentioned, is going to roll around into the back looking for that flank. Coming in behind, but it's got to deal with Ideal. Nope, that's not the target they wanted to see. They're going to roll the heck right on out of there. Meanwhile, Cold did manage to take down Zaku on the other side. Oh, and finally follows it up with another kill. Cold on this high ground has been the difference maker in this engagement by Momento Mori. The kills in the space they need to get that second point on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a providential swap if I ever saw one, my friend. And now TacFighter is going to be coming up online very closely. He is keeping Mighty Camper in check on this Echo, and that is how they have captured point 2. Not going to be able to match the time that we saw come out from Archeon, but they can still get their booties across the line and start to get us into this overtime period. They've got to push into it, though. They've got to take the aggression.
There's shit. And grab. It's going to find half of Memento Mori. They're immediately deleted as the kill feed lights up red, and now they're chasing them all the way back to the spawn doors.
And there goes Ideal Objector again with a very calm, quiet, collected 3-piece. And now 5 ultimates ready to go. 54 seconds. Going up against 4 coming out from Archeon Esports, and the big one that I'm looking for right now is this Transcendence. Transcendence is going to be able to deny everything coming out.
Oh, and it's perfectly placed, but there's an anti in the pack. Okay, never mind. I thought that was fire, that was purple. No, it was the other side, but the following Graviton Surge. That's the difference maker. No Transcendence for that one. Zaku's going to get the Nano Boost to try to stem the bleeding here. His 2 kills did come through from the other side. It's only a 4-man push from Memento Mori. But there's no main tank standing for Archeon, and they're running for cover right now.
Yeah, Zaku doing the smart move here and getting out of there. Look at Cold once again, starting to lay that damage in with the pulse rifle. That's a massive anti from General No Nips, and now it's
Cold finds 3 final blows, contributed to 2 more kills, and with no ults on the back end of the fight, Momento Mori push it in dry, but it wasn't until overtime. The best they can hope for is a draw.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate part here. And they're going to have to defend for 218. Now, keeping Cold on this soldier might be the best thing to do, but we'll see what they bring out here in their defense. I mean, we saw Archeon take the first point pretty quickly. And there was an extended fight, you know, with a shatter that caught a lot of people, but nobody was able to follow up on it, and that's how they got the point so fast. So we'll see what General No Nips and company can bring out here in the defense of their point. I would think that you would bring out, something with a lot of burst damage. Try to get the shielding down. Try to take down Ideal Object before they start getting that charge up. I mean, I think that's got to be, public enemy number one. If you're a Memento Mori, you've got to address the Zarya problem, because Zarya is getting so much value, not only being able to DPS it out with that charge that they seem to always have, but also the ability to throw a bubble when it's needed the most. It's not always going on to Fire Kirito. It's going on to the players that are in serious trouble and need that extra little bit of help.
Well, we're going to get some composition swaps with the double shield. It's Timmy moving over to the main tank role. Mr. Worldwide picking up the Sigma. No big changes out of the attacking Archon. Zaku back over to the Widowmaker as they did on their first assault, and already landing some headshots onto that giant Orisa hitbox.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just trying to figure out a way to aggress here and get the value out of the Widow that you want. But I mean, they're going to be able to rotate their shields here, Bull Skunk. So this is going to be a bit of a scratcher here. And, I mean, I would be bringing the burst damage too if I were Archon and try to get the shielding down.
I mean, a great Widowmaker can weave them through. As you can see, they've got the line of sight down into the back. Mighty Camper's going to go ahead and take No Nips out of the fight. So Discord gone. Pick up the flank. Ooh, Zaku reads it like a book. Now +2 to the attacking Archon, and they just need 33% of this objective. Playing it slow, looking for more. I expect that it's about time to push on to this point, guys. There they go. 90% for this Zarya as Mighty picks up their second kill of the fight. Ideal burns down Mr. Worldwide, and that is it. Archon Esports will tie us up 1-1 heading into the half.
I mean, that was just a very coordinated push. That one singular pick is what flipped that fight and brings us to 1-1 here in our series. We are in for a wonderful one now that we are getting into the latter parts of our series. 1-1, winning that 4-3 were Archon. And man, I mean, we don't get the plays of the game, but I've got to say, the dueling Zaryas right now are giving me life. I am absolutely stoked. Both Ideal and Timmy getting massive value out of the heroes. And we even saw Timmy swap over to that Diva and then Orisa in the overtime. So, showing his playbook quite nicely. Wasn't able to defend the overtime there, but seeing the massive value coming out of Timmy putting his team on his back right now in the tank department.
Absolutely. That's where my eye is going to be focused for the remainder of this series. That off-tank battle, I think, is where this series is really being won and lost. I mean, that's not to take anything away from any of the other players, but that seems to me to be the real focus point, the difference maker of what's tilting the balance. Although, I mean, we did see some outstanding plays from Zaku in that on the McCree. That one brought it back on point B. And then Cold on the other side with some outstanding plays with the Soldier 76. So, I mean, a lot of tools in both of these teams' kits. We're going to take a quick break. Y'all go rehydrate. We'll see you back here on Hanamura in just a couple minutes. We are tied 1-1 at the half in this Tier 3 matchup between Momento Mori and Archeon Esports. Memento Mori starting off strong on map number 1, taking... It was Busan. I almost said Oasis. That's our tiebreaker map. Taking Busan in a 2-1 victory, but Archeon Esports bringing it back. They're on King's Row with that extra innings win. Now we're headed to Hanamura. So who can take the edge, take the lead in our series?
There is not a clear leader right now. I want to make that abundantly clear to everybody out there watching this today. We have seen pop-off moments from both sides, both healer cores doing a damn good job of just keeping their teams up through the massive amounts of damage that is coming their way. Got to throw it out there to Nips and Pseudo for Memento Mori, also under Tanker on the other side. Just so much work being done by both support cores. Gotta give love to your support. We're tank players, so we like to give the love to the supports that keep us up through those nasty mid fights. But I mean, if there's a little bit of nose ahead, I think there's a little bit of a Zarya difference for Archon. And man, it's not much though.
I was gonna say it's a slight, and that can change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's slight, and I mean, Timmy could turn the afterburners on and just blow past the ideal object. We'll see. I mean, we saw him bring out 3 tanks there to the 1 coming out from ideal objector. So we'll see if they can actually turn it around. I got faith in Timmy because I played with him, and he is absolutely nutty in the off-tank role. So we'll see if he can turn it around here as we head to the most gorgeous of maps, Hanamura, my favorite map as far as aesthetics, yours too.
Oh yeah, sakura trees are just so beautiful.
Yeah, sakura trees in spring. Come on. I'm kind of ready for the winter maps though, because it snowed here today, and I'm for it. But we do see the side swaps here now. We will see Archeon come out on the defense, bringing out the Baptiste for some massive healing. The immortality barrier is going to be, of course, in play, and then we'll see what they can do. They're bringing out the double shield variant this time, so ideal object on the Orisa. I'm feeling a very massive synergy with this player because that's what I do on PC now, is play the Orisa and the Zarya, so I'm actually kind of happy to see this.
We're going to get Cole back on the far to try to push in against this double shield composition. Protocol onto the McCree is putting some early damage down. A little bit of aggressive positioning from Fire Corrido. I mean, kind of left them out a little bit. I'm not sure that Archeon got a chance to play at their feet, but they're going to bring it back as Zaku gets a kill with the total mayhem, and then the tank's coming up with a pair each. Well, pair total, should I say. And they're going to start the defense off strong, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, look at the ult charges right now under Tanker once again. Getting the value out of the healer core, already 52% to the Transcendence. What I'm really looking for right now is if Protocol is going to be able to corral Cold in on this Pharah, as we just see this this pusher. Nice wall coming out from Mighty Camper, though.
Yeah, Protocol still trying to get some shots in through the cracks, but Worldwide cannot back up. Probably should have just focused that attention on opening up one of those slots of the wall for your Reinhardt to get to safety. Because without that Reinhardt, well, you're going to struggle to push in as Mr. Worldwide's going over to an Orisa of their own.
Yeah, I think you've got to get this Hulk rock combo going. I think you need, oh, what a rock from Kirito on this Sigma. And now we're going to start seeing ultimates come up online. General No-Nips might be able to have an aggressive barrier here and push in to Archeon.
Tire coming out from Zaku. He didn't find anything, but he does turn around and get Protocol with the mines. He's at 26 health and is going to run back and get a Harmony Orb there from Undertaker. No. And then returns with another mine to take Skate down, who's been subbed in for this map. And, well, so far, this has been all defense, but there are a couple ults coming online from Memento Mori.
Yeah, both support ultimates ready to go. You're going to also have the barrage, so you can actually hold yourself up in the mid-fight through this barrage, see if you can get any value out of it.
Immortality Field was there, but, well, and now it's Mr. Worldwide, who's actually the one to fall. Sebas goes down as well, and without any tanks, Cold's just sticking around in the back line. Both support ults came out for Archeon in that fight, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a disadvantage for them there. But Zaku using the concussion mine to get up and throw another one into the face of Cold. That's going to reset them real quick. Already 2.5 minutes off this time bank, Bullskunk, and there has not been much progress made around this archway here.
And now we're seeing yet even more swaps come through as the support line has gone to Bat Mercy from Memento Mori. Protocol had swapped to the Sombra prior to that last engagement. Cold going over to a Junkrat of their own. Good Maywall is going to split up. Mr. Worldwide gets immediately deleted with the help from some supercharger damage. Fire's got that Gravitic Flux ready to go if they so choose, but with half the attackers already back in spawn, they're not going to need it.
Good Lord. The Hyperspheres and the fusion driver from Ideal just deleting everybody that they have in their sights. And look at that grab coming from Kirito. That got some shielding going for him. So we're going to have dueling. Oh, that's a quick kill from Protocol.
And a priority pick.
Huge.
30 seconds left. Tire coming out from Zaku is going to pick up the Mercy. Oh, no, and Worldwide goes down. Zaku turns around and finds the other support, taking out the heal core and Two swift fatal moves. And now, with just 12 seconds left, Momento Mori are in a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see Protocol get the last bit of this EMP up and try to EMP and get them off the point, or at least to contest. I mean, you've got to get in there and get on it.
It was Protocol who was able to touch. But Ed does get the EMP down, finding 3. Mr. Worldwide didn't quite get the momentum he was looking for going through that, but is going to get a big pile driver. It now only has 24 health as the Transcendence comes out, keeping Archeon Esports in this fight. Gravitic Flux thrown in the mix as well, and that's just too much damage for Momento Mori to overcome. They're going to get stopped stone cold on Hanamura.
Yeah, that is full hold. That is pure defensive dominance coming out of Archeon Esports. The positioning that we saw from them, they've never really looked like they were to get punished at any point. I don't know if it was a DPS difference or if it was just the positioning itself, because I didn't see much in the mechanics that really lent itself to anything other than they just had their positioning. They had their cooldowns on proper, management. They did do that one wonky double support investment, but they lived to fight another day. And Sunny Explosion on that Zenyatta, on the Baptiste, had a couple of massive immortality barriers when Undertaker, was either dropping low and had to get out of the way. I mean, he really took up the mantle of the main healer there in that mid fight. And the defense there. So well done by Sunny Explosion on that Baptiste.
I feel like that Momento Mori never really did anything to attack Zaku on the Junkrat. The Junkrat was in that corner just getting away with murder, quite literally. And they made swaps to try to adjust, but then they were so behind in the ult economy, it just forced such an uphill battle, such a deficit. Now bringing out the Bastion to try to see if they can equalize and draw Hanamura.
I like the positioning. I like using this rock as a natural cover. He's got a good sight line to the gateway here. But, I mean, there is the teleporter. They have not caught this rotation yet.
No, but fire does go down. Ideal's going to strike back, take the Baptiste on the other side. 5v5 on the point as Protocol pushes in on the Ashe. That's a close-range battle with the Symmetra and just eats way too much damage, and that is it. Without the main tank, there was just nothing that Momento Mori could do. That was a lightning-fast Hanamura.
Yeah, I mean, really lightning fast, my friend. I mean, it took them less than a minute and a half to take the first tick. That's all they needed. They had a very easy win condition there, and they brought the Bastion out. They didn't even have to kill the Bastion. Like, all they had to do was take the main tank out and get 1 or 2 more picks, and it was all she wrote. The supports were more than enough to keep the sustain up with the Moira and the Lucio. They really never looked like they were going to lose that map.
No, not at all. That was absolutely Archeon in full, complete control. And I think that's where that coaching comes in. That's where having those VOD reviews look to make a big difference, because the teamwork was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
It was a filthy teleporter, too. Let's give credit to that. And the placement of the Symmetra turrets, and then having the Orisa shield right there to deny any damage coming into them, was absolutely chef's kiss from the chef. And that is a 2-1 lead now there on series point, going into Havana.
Yes, indeed, as I get production set up here.
Right, so, I mean... Yeah, looking at what I expect to see coming out from the teams here, if they do swap sides, then we'll see Archeon come out on the attack here. If I remember what you were telling me in our halftime break, as CGL's changed it to where they swap after every map now. They swap roles after every map, but we could see the Bastion defense again. I think if you set up the Bastion defense, especially on the high ground, and put a Sigma up there, put an Orisa up there, I think the Sigma is the better choice. And maybe with a Mercy on top, you can set up your defense quite nicely there, and really deny the progress coming in and deny the first corner. Now, we have seen in other instances where we will see the teams try to push up to spawn and try to hold there as long as they can, and hold is not a bad Pharah. I think that they're just running up against the wall of a superior hit scan coming out of Archeon Esports. I mean, looking at Zaku, even though he was playing the Junkrat there, was acting like a sniper with those grenades. It didn't seem like he was missing very much at all.
No, his mines were filthy. Oh, man. We'll take a look at our map pool screen here before heading into map number 4. I think the double shield could really work for Memento Mori. I think they've got a real shot to send us to that elusive map 5 because Archon's been playing so brawly this whole map. Havana is a lot more long range, a lot more big sight lines, though. I mean, we've seen some outstanding hit scan play coming out, so some outstanding Widowmaker earlier in the series already from Archeon. So this one could go either way, but I think as far as the tank line is concerned, Memento Mori have a chance heading into Havana. Oh, did I lose Billy altogether? I think I may have lost Billy altogether. As we're seeing that he got snowy there earlier, and now I think he's just flat gone. So with that, seeing as well, I've got full control here. We're just going to take a quick break. Let me get Billy back in here, and we'll be back with map number 4. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We've got Billy back. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, router reset itself on its own.
They update. It happens. It happens. All right. Well, without wasting any more time, let's just head right on into Havana. See if Memento Mori can send us to that tiebreaker round on Ilios.
Yep, we will see if they can do it. I'm looking to see which side is going to come out on the attack and the defense here. And it looks like we will see Memento Mori on the defense here. So, I mean, really, they've got to decide how they're going to address this point. Are they going to hold up close? With the Widow and the Ashe showing up here, I'm looking at them holding on top of the hotel here and trying to use those long sight lines to get early frags out. But Zaku bringing out their own Widowmaker and Mighty Camper in the form of their own double sniper comp. You're also going to have the damage boost coming from Sunny Explosion. No damage boost for Memento Mori, so that's a bit of a head scratcher for myself. You would want to see one of them get that damage boost, but I think they're going to rely on the Discord Orb of General No Nips to really take down the fighting abilities of Archon. So, point ready to go. Here we go. Map 4 with Archeon Esports up 2-1.
Ooh, jump shot from Zaku narrowly misses in the sniper duel in the back. We're getting the double off tank. Interesting. No shielding pushing up for.
I mean, you've got the self-sustain for ideal. So I mean, that's the one part. Also, the shield break is going to be much bigger value for them. But Cold is going to take down Zaku in the interim, and I mean, you do have res available. Skate. Hello, that's 2 right there. That's going to stop that aggression right there. Quick reset's going to have to come in for Archeon Esports.
Indeed, we get a little duel on the outside. Archeon kind of sticking around in this fight where I think they just need to get the heck out. Because, well...
That happens.
Fire's the one picking up the Zarya in this fight, and they need to make sure and keep that charge.
I mean, look at the ultimate charges right now. Cold, 55 to Bob. You know, Protocol is going to have sights up very shortly, but the tank ultimates right now, are way in favor of Memento Mori, and you see Kirito bringing out the Sigma now, Ideal Objector bringing out the Orisa. There's still frags going in the way of Cold. Cold is going to have Bob probably for this next push.
Yeah, we're going to get a swap out of Zaku now, going over to the Junkrat. Mighty Camper picking up the Widowmaker. Cold still just raining down shots with this Viper. His shields are broke for Memento Mori. Archon deciding shields are a good idea. I have swapped up to 2 of their own, and Mighty Camper is going to win that duel. Swap coming in handy right out of the gate. Let's see if Cold can respond. Ooh, you heard that shot whiz by the ear of Cold. They're able to dodge out of the way, turn around and return some fire onto both supports, and with them weak is going to toss the Bob all the way into the back. Cold will find the kill onto Undertanker with the big Omnic Butler. Able to finish off what they had started with the Viper. And now the double damage down. The Bay Window Amplification Matrix out from Memento Mori, and that'll be enough to send Archeon back to the drawing board.
Yep, and I mean, they've already had almost 2.5 minutes taken off the clock here. Protocol bringing out the Tracer now. So that's an extra little wrinkle into it. You've got that nuisance factor of the Tracer. Can get some one clips onto both Undertaker and Sunny Explosives. They're going to have to watch, see if they can get one of these massive sleeps again.
Cold now has an extra 50% damage, but it's Timmy who goes down, minus their main tank. Memento Mori might just have to back on up and try to buy time for the Erase to get back in the fight. Mr. Worldwide does have that Gravitic Flux ready to go. Transcendence used in the back as Mighty Camper is back there trying to harass that backline, forced it out. Transcendence is actually coming out from a fire first, so that's going to slam Skate Action down. Incoming tire from Raku, or Zaku finds two! Oh my goodness. No Nips and Mr. Worldwide blown to bits.
Yeah, but that was a real waste of time. If you are Memento Mori, you got a lot of time off. Undertaker taking Cold's head clean off in the most cold-blooded fashion you could say. Undertaker, Transcendence available for the next fight. You've got the Gravitic Flux, so obviously we're going to save that for that ultimate. But now, Protocol going to bring out the Tracer. The Tracer coming on into the Pulse Bomb. We need to see where they're going to path with this. Going to go in the back line, get sneaky.
They've got to try to force out this Transcendence. If Protocol can get this Transcendence out, it will be massive and enable. There you go, putting the pressure down. Undertaker's down. This should open the door for Worldwide to drop that Flux. Coming in, may not even need it. As Cole falls able to kill onto Zaku as well. And Mr. Worldwide is content just throwing down the Hyperspheres to try to push them back.
Yep, and I mean, that smart discipline there for the ultimate bank there for them. I mean, you could run the Gravitic Flux with the Pulse Bomb underneath and just drop them right on top of it and just absolutely let them Pulse Bomb!
You take those, sacrificing themselves for the greater good. Protocol finds a pair with that Pulse Bomb, and now Archeon are struggling to even get through this opening doorway.
Yeah, and I mean, you're running into the amplification matrix of Skate Action. You're running into still this Gravitic Flux from Worldwide, but you do have the Supercharger. That's the extra 50% of damage going in. Let's see how they aggress this.
Looks like push up to the high ground. It's going to be the Pulse Bomb from the other side. Mighty Camper picks up one. The Butler takes a nap, not doing much work this time, as Archeon just passed all the way up to the high ground to try to find an opening on this point. Zaku puts some shots down. It's going to force Cold off of that walkway and is now free to just lay shots in from above. Protocol's going to win the duel of the Tracers, but here comes the Gravitic Flux on the other side. Transcendence countering it, keeping Archeon in this fight, and they're going to pick off Timmy despite the Ant Matrix from the defensive Memento Mori. Idle objective followed back, and now the response Flux coming in. The lamp is down. No more Immortality Field. Defense is getting whittled to bits, and the High Noon closing things out on this attack.
Man, but it's been so expensive for them, and No Nips has just been bullied into the corner. He does take down Mighty Camper, though, so there is a little bit of a consolation frag there. But, I mean, No Nips is going to have a massive Transcendence going into this next fight. He's going to have to save it for when they get around this corner, unless they decide to drop it here and really contest this last point.
Cold coming in with a vengeance, finds a pair! Both headshots, falls up on the third, looking for the fourth! Oh, Mr. Worldwide steals that final blow, and then Undertaker's going to eventually take him down, but Cold has done enough to stop this cart.
And No Nips did invest that Transcendence smartly. It stops the aggression. It stops the bleeding for just a few moments. Protocol is going to have another Pulse Bomb ready to go, so he might be able to get in there and really lay into it. But look at this, the stalking.
Sneaky, sneaky! Zaku picks off No Nips and Protocol falls to the Genji. Zaku's going to eventually die, but damage done. Now +1 of the attackers. Mr. Worldwide counters back because the overtime with Burns. It's a 4v4 on this point, and there's no Orisa here for Archeon. They've got the Wrecking Ball out to try to stall, to try to hold on as long as possible, which means there's a lot of pressure on the Fire. With low health, he's going to throw down that Flux, manages to smash Skate Action into the dirt. You've got Worldwide with no health, Timmy with no health, with Protocol bringing it back. The Pulse Bomb takes Fire down, and now it's Ideal who is looking low on the health bars. The Doomfist! Oh my goodness, Zaku pushed in, recognized the low health targets in the corner, and oh wow, down to the wire, Archeon grabbed that second point, steal it away.
I don't believe what I just saw there, my friend. I thought that Protocol and Worldwide were going to be able to close it out. They just couldn't get that final blow onto Ideal Object on the Wrecking Ball, and mines are going to be available in this next fight. Zaku bringing out the French Assassin again. And Kirito, we're going with a little bit of Metal Dive, my friend.
Indeed. Kirito. We're going to go back over to the signal. Okay.
Okay.
That makes a little bit more sense in this composition, especially going over to the Widowmaker. You want a little bit of shielding to help that out. Orbs being tossed down. Kirito's in a tough spot up there. The counterpart, well, Mr. Worldwide has tons of shielding as Zaku manages to pick up not one, but 2 kills from the outside. Looking for the third as Cold drops the tac visor from the high ground. Cold will keep Zaku at bay momentarily. Body shot comes in, but the heal station's ready. Nevertheless, it's Archeon buying a lot of space.
My goodness, I mean, they're going to be about to be able to buy a lot more with these mines. I mean, they're going to be able to stop the aggression coming in. That's a nice flux, though. That's going to take Kirito down. But you're going to trigger the Transcendence coming out from Undertaker. You're going to trigger the mines coming out as well. Let's see what they can get out of this.
So far, not a whole lot. Transcendence fades. Ideal is left in pieces. And now the support line are just forced to try to run out of cart to stall this thing out. Mr. Worldwide took matters in his own hands as Cold lights up the feed to help dwindle down the overtime wick. There was a tracer there to stall, but it won't be enough. Now it's Hammond's turn to try to keep hope alive as Zaku, looking for more heroics on the Doomfist, is going to pick up one, but then just eats a rock to the face.
I mean, wow. That was a massive amount of aggression coming out from Archeon Esports. They, by all rights, should have lost it on the second point there. But now, Momento Mori, your chance to extend this series into a map 5, you have set your win condition, my friends. You have just got to get it. 74.37 meters through point 3, and you will tie us up. You will take us to Oasis in our last map here in week 2 and have a chance to keep your undefeated season going so far. I know it's only 1-0 here, but you know, this tier 3 divisions, there's like 4 or 5 of them. I think there's 4 tier 3 divisions in the North American side. And I mean, you've got to place, if I'm thinking correctly, I think you've got to place top 3. And then maybe the 4th place people, the highest of the 4th place will get in as far as the playoffs are concerned. Of course, we do have 9 weeks here in the CGL, not counting the preseason. So we will see how the defense of Archeon will hold up here. We are bringing out the Ryan Zarya again. Absolutely love this play. We've got some massive brawl going on, my friend.
Yeah, it's the May Reaper. There they go, storming out of the gates. Wall up, charging in, forcing out cooldowns all over the place. Can they follow up? Zaku pushing in to try to put some work down with those Hellfire shotguns. As Camper lands the Icicle from the May. Now it's Cold. We're just getting some off-rolling, it looks like, from Memento Mori. Cold coming out on the Orisa this time around.
Yeah, and Mr. Worldwide is on the Hanzo.
This gives me some shades of Bumper Hanzo. That's kind of what I'm feeling here right now.
Bumper Hanzo.
Now blocked off from the wall. Protocol is going to get burned down by Ideal, who has just been outstanding on that Zarya all day long.
Yeah, and I was talking about this in the pregame to this. They're choosing to do this high hold here and burn as much clock as they can. Window is going to be available for Skate Action. Skate Action could actually really lay into them right now.
Oh, a clutch bubble keeps Fire Corrito alive because that focusing beam was right above his head. Now the Coalescence is out. Protocol already down. Or Shatter in. Finds 4. Huge Shatter. And it is a disaster. It's a bloodbath in the alleys of Havana.
I mean, that's a cigar back deal gone wrong here in Cuba. And, we're looking for the aggression. We're looking for the coordinated push coming out. Like I said, Skate Action has this window available to him. He can actually lay it out there and just get that extra damage going through.
Flux is going to get countered by the sound barrier as Zaku is pushing in with the Death Blossom in hand. Is barely able to wraith out of the form of the Accretion Rock coming through. Now he's going to teleport into the back line. Come up behind him. Graviton Surge. Here comes the Death Blossom. That's going to be nasty. It's going to pick up
Lord.
3. And not even the Immortality Field could save him from that one. As Mighty Camper is just throwing out a celebratory Blizzard. I think that was just a statement Blizzard there, Billy.
Well, a statement that did end up getting a kill. I think you could have held on to it and saved it for them to push around the corner. I think they're actually going to let them touch the cart now. How many people got gold stars there? That's the real question. Who touched the spawn door? I think everybody on the team touched the spawn door. And Tickety has got to be proud of his team right now.
He's just an advisor, but yeah, no doubt. Zaku's going to go down early as the Coalescence is going to try to equalize things. Protocol is going to duplicate the Reinhardt, go charging in, but gets hit by the Shatter. Is going to immediately taken out and not be able to use that duplicated Shatter. Does follow up with the Focusing Beam kill onto Fire, but is eating a lot of damage and is forced to fall back behind that shield. Ideal also low, could be susceptible to this, so the heal's coming through. Ideal wants to maintain this charge for Archeon to maintain this very defensive hold. Dragon's coming out, Mr. Worldwide's going to pick up an opening pick. Picks up 2, as a matter of fact.
Yep, and that's exactly what they needed to start progressing here. I mean, they've got less than a minute to get through this last little bit. Mr. Worldwide, the former tank player, now showing his Hanzo chops, and he is starting to lay the damage in. He's getting all the frags that he's needing to do. The shield break, also huge coming out of him.
Yeah, the tree trunks landing true from the Hanzo. Mighty Camper is going to get challenged and deleted by the DPS duo of Memento Mori, and they're going to pick up point A.
Yeah, and look at the ult charge for Mr. Worldwide, already halfway to another Dragon Strike, and he just used it, and they know where the Fister is.
Unfortunately, there was nothing they could do about it. One DPS dealt with, throws the big right hook, but whiffs on it entirely. That's a swing and a miss there, Zaku.
A little Major League reference there. For everybody that loves baseball out there, swing and a miss.
Nice halt up to the top, buying a lot of ult charge. Timmy almost has that Flux online. This could be the ticket to make this a swift point B and start marching towards that box of victory. We're going to get the Flux out. That's going to find a pair. Oh, but the sound barrier is there. Sunny Explosion keeping her team alive. And Ideal over the top, trying to burn him down, but the duplicate once again onto the Reinhardt from Protocol, pushing in, swinging up, gets this Shatter down, but that one finds nothing but a shield, and then is promptly taken out of it. Zaku, the one to remove Protocol from the Doppelganger form. As the Shatter down from Fire finds many, many people. That is more than half of Memento Mori on their backs, and now back in spawn.
Yeah, but trade's still coming through, Bullskunk, as we see Mr. Worldwide getting some good progress there to the next Dragon Strike, but Ideal Object once again on this Zarya, cleaning up the mess that was left by Memento Mori. And now, you know, you've got 90 seconds on the clock. Supercharger and Dragon Strike available. Ideal Objective's got to land a massive grab to stop the aggression coming in.
Staying alive there was so important, though. Memento Mori was trying to get rid of this high charge, and Ideal keeps it, which allows him to do plays like that. Nearly 190 DPS is what you get at 100. Dragons coming out, and the Immortality Field used early in the back, and it's still not enough for Memento Mori to survive this insane aggression as Zagu flattens No Nips into a pancake. I mean, I realize Ideal got the final blow, but come on, that was... You know, that was awesome.
That was flat.
That was
pancake
flat.
time.
That was pancake
time.
Yeah.
Oh boy, still you have the Supercharger online for Cole to start the aggression coming in. You have Bob available from Mighty Camper that's got over to the Southern Bell. You've got the grab into Bob. That could be something filthy going in their Space Jam off the table right now. Duplicate will be online for Protocol. Maybe go into the Zarya to get a fast grab.
Protocol's been getting these duplicates up online. Lickety split. Oh, almost got the focusing beam onto Zaku. They were fortunate to get out of that one with their live. Nope, it's going to be onto the Reinhardt once again. It gets booped down to the bottom by the Bob coming out, I believe is what knocked them down, which means they can't cleave into there as much as they had wanted to. 5 seconds on the duplicate where you get the Shatter out. Is it going to try? Finds 3 with it! Protocol, the hero that Memento Mori needs right now. Pushing through, but here comes the Graviton Surge from the other side. The Coalescence used to burn through that, and despite Protocol's best efforts, this cart's going nowhere. Havana will go to Archeon Esports, as will the series 3-1.
Uh, the off tank difference absolutely huge in this series, Bull Skunk, and I mean, Ideal Object absolutely cleaning house today on this Zarya. Also brought out the Roadhog for a little while. I think they just need to play Ryan Zarya all the time because right now I don't see a match up against it. I think Kirito on the Reinhardt playing the beautiful Reinhardt games and just the bubble management, the positioning, the ability to track as a Zarya as well. We saw it on full display today. And I think that's the major win condition for Archeon Esports is keeping this Zarya up and high charge.
I mean, I don't think there was any objection to Ideal Object getting player of the match today. That seemed to be the big difference maker. We were talking about the outstanding duel between Timmy and Ideal, and they end up swapping off of that entirely, and Ideal just kind of runs away with it from there. Fantastic performance from Archeon. The newcomers to the Tier 3 scene here in the multi-tier tournament showing up, starting off the season strong with a 2-0.
Yeah, and they got a +3 map differential now as well. So that will put them towards the top of the standings here in the Tier 3 scene. I'm not sure what it is as far as divisions. I can take a look, but I do believe that they are somewhere near the top of Tier 3. Momento Mori does go to 1-1. However, I think Timmy is going to be somebody to watch out here in the Tier 3 scene because, boy, they ran up against somebody that was just that little bit better. But Timmy, nothing to sniff at, absolutely held their own the entire series. And, I mean, I was loving the no-nip skate action healer core.
I mean, Protocol did a good job on the DPS as well, but on the other side, I think Camper and Zaku did it better. That DPS duo was phenomenal as well. I mean, nothing to be taken away from any of Archon. I mean, Fire did an amazing job of leading the pack. Their supports, keeping everybody alive. Undertanker, did a fantastic job on the Ana as well as Sunny. So, I mean, all around good teamwork. Hats off to our victors, Archeon Esports. Whew. Outstanding series, Billy. What a way to make our debut in the fall 2020 season.
It's nice to be home for a little winter break.
No doubt. No doubt. I couldn't agree more. Well put. Well, with that, I think we'll go ahead and bid you good night. Y'all be sure to look out for each other in game and out. Take care of each other. Do what you love, and you'll love what you do. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.